Good evening, everyone. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt stuck, trapped in a loop, repeating the same patterns, living the same story, and wondering why nothing ever changes? Now imagine this. What if the only thing standing between you and the life you've always dreamed of is the story you keep telling yourself? Because here's the truth. The story you tell yourself is the blueprint for your life. And if that blueprint is broken, you'll keep building a life you don't love. But the moment you change your story, you change your destiny. Stick with me tonight, because what we're about to dive into could be the turning point you've been waiting for. This isn't just motivation, it's transformation. The power of your narrative. The story you tell yourself is the foundation of everything you experience in life. It's not just a fleeting thought or a quiet whisper in the background of your mind. It's the lens through which you view every situation, every relationship, and every opportunity. Whether you realize it or not, your narrative shapes your identity, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. Think about it. Every day we wake up with an internal dialogue already running in our minds. This dialogue frames who we think we are, what we believe we're capable of, and how we perceive the world around us. For some, that story might be empowering. I am strong, I am resourceful, I am enough for others. It's a story of limitation. I failed before, I always mess things up, I'm not meant for success. What's truly incredible is that this narrative isn't fixed, it's not carved in stone, it's malleable, changeable, and entirely within your control. The challenge, though, is that most of us don't question our stories. We don't stop to ask, is this true? Is this narrative helping me, or is it holding me back? Here's the reality. Your brain doesn't distinguish between fact and fiction when it comes to your self-talk. It believes whatever story you consistently feed it. If you tell yourself you're not good at something, your brain will find evidence to support that belief. If you tell yourself you're unworthy of love, you'll unconsciously sabotage relationships to align with that story. But the flip side of this truth is where the magic lies. If you tell yourself a story of possibility, resilience, and strength, your brain will find evidence to support that too. This is the power of your narrative. You can literally rewrite the script of your life by changing the story you tell yourself. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about reframing your perspective so that even obstacles become part of a larger, empowering narrative. Instead of thinking, this setback proves I'm a failure, you can shift the story to, this is a lesson that will make me stronger. Instead of saying, I've always been bad at this, you can rewrite it to, I'm learning, and every step forward is progress. Some of the most successful, inspiring people in the world didn't have an easy path. They faced rejection, failure, and even despair. But what set them apart wasn't their circumstances, it was their narrative. They told themselves a story of perseverance, of growth, of purpose. And because they believed it, they lived it. The story you tell yourself matters more than anything else. It shapes your actions, your relationships, and your future. The question isn't whether you have a story, you do. The question is it the right story? If it's not, you have the power to change it. Rewrite your narrative, and you'll rewrite your life. It starts with a simple decision to believe in a story that empowers you instead of one that holds you back. The power is already in your hands. What story will you tell next? The trap of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are like invisible walls that block our path, preventing us from moving forward. They often go unnoticed because they become so deeply embedded in our thinking, yet they have a profound impact on the way we live our lives. These beliefs are shaped by our experiences, our upbringing, and the messages we've absorbed throughout our lives. Often they are passed down from others, parents, teachers, society, who too may have been trapped by their own limiting beliefs. The key to understanding limiting beliefs is recognizing that they are not truths, they are simply stories we've been taught or have accepted. When you were a child, you may have been told money doesn't grow on trees, or people like us don't get opportunities like that. These well-meaning statements, while not intended to hold you back, have the power to shape the way you see the world and your place in it. And over time, these beliefs become so ingrained that you don't even question them anymore. They become your reality. Here's the hard truth. Limiting beliefs don't just stop at money or career. They invade every part of your life. I'm not good enough can prevent you from taking on new challenges. I'm too old or I'm too young can stop you from pursuing dreams you might have thought about your whole life. I've tried before, and it didn't work can become an excuse to never try again. These beliefs serve as a filter through which you view the world, often making you blind to the opportunities that are right in front of you. But the most dangerous part of limiting beliefs is that they become self-fulfilling prophecies. When you believe you can't, your actions or lack of actions will reflect that belief. If you tell yourself, I'm not capable of leading a team, you'll avoid situations that require leadership, and when the opportunity arises, you'll doubt yourself to the point of failure. Your beliefs about yourself create the boundaries within which you live. They define your comfort zone, and more often than not, they keep you stuck within that small box. What's critical to understand is that these limiting beliefs are not fixed. They are not a permanent part of who you are. They can be changed. The first step in breaking free from these mental chains is awareness. You have to identify the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. This can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront the ways in which you've been sabotaging yourself. But it's also liberating. Once you become aware of the beliefs that no longer serve you, you can start challenging them. Next, you need to shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on why you can't do something, start asking yourself, what would it look like if I could begin replacing those limiting beliefs with empowering ones? If you've believed, I'm not good enough, replace it with, I am more than capable of achieving my goals. If you've believed, I don't deserve success, replace it with, I am worthy of all the opportunities that come my way. Changing your beliefs takes time, but it's not impossible. It requires consistent effort, self-reflection, and a willingness to challenge the narrative that has held you back for so long. Every time you face a fear or doubt, ask yourself, is this belief true? Or is it just something I've been conditioned to believe? The moment you realize you don't have to live within the constraints of these beliefs, you'll feel a sense of freedom that can propel you forward into the life you truly deserve. Remember, you are the only one who has the power to shape your beliefs, and by changing them, you can change your entire life. You don't have to live in the shadow of those old, limiting stories. It's time to break free and creating a new story, one where you are the hero, where anything is possible. The story is a choice. One of the most profound realizations you can have is that the story you tell yourself is not predetermined, it is entirely within your control. Many of us go through life feeling as though the narrative we've inherited is fixed, like it was written for us long before we arrived on the scene. But the truth is, the story is a choice, and with that choice comes an incredible power. Think about your past for a moment. You've likely experienced successes and failures, highs and lows, moments of joy and deep sorrow. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that the events of your past are the defining features of who you are today. Yet the reality is that the meaning you attach to those experiences is what shapes your present reality. When you look back at a difficult time in your life, you have the power to decide what that experience means to you. You can choose to view it as a failure that defines your inability to succeed, or you can reframe it as a lesson that taught you resilience, strength, and growth. The same event can be interpreted in countless ways, but the meaning you assign to it will ultimately determine how it influences your future. This is the power of choice. You can choose how to interpret the past and how that interpretation will affect your future. For example, consider someone who has faced multiple business failures. They could tell themselves a story like, I tried and failed. I'm just not cut out for entrepreneurship. This belief might cause them to abandon their dreams, afraid to risk further failure. But if they choose to tell a different story, I failed, but each failure taught me something valuable. I've learned more than ever before. And the next attempt will be even stronger. They empower themselves to keep moving forward. The difference lies in the story they chose to believe. Your ability to choose your story also extends to your future. Many people live their lives feeling trapped by their circumstances, believing they are at the mercy of fate or the actions of others. But this belief is a lie. You are the author of your own story, and you can choose to rewrite it at any point. If you don't like the direction your life is heading, you don't have to accept it. You have the power to pivot, to change course. and to create the future you desire. The key is deciding that the story of your life is not a static narrative, but a dynamic one that you can actively shape. This choice is not always easy. It's natural to want to hold on to the comfort of familiar narratives, even if those narratives are limiting. But to change your life, you have to be willing to challenge the status quo and break free from the old stories that no longer serve you. It's about looking at your past, recognizing its role in shaping you, and then deciding to write a future that's aligned with your dreams, not your doubts. The most successful people in the world understand this. They don't let their failures define them. They don't allow the opinions of others to dictate their path. They choose to write a story where they are the hero, where obstacles are seen as opportunities, and where they are capable of achieving whatever they set their minds to. You have the same power. Your story is yours to create, yours to change, and yours to live. So what will your new story be? The pen is in your hands and the future is waiting. Pain and progress. Life has a way of testing us. At some point, everyone faces challenges that seem insurmountable, whether it's the loss of a loved one, a career setback, a financial crisis, or a personal betrayal. Pain is something we all experience. It's easy to see pain as something to avoid, something that signals failure or weakness. Yet what if pain is not the enemy, but the very thing that prepares us for greatness? What if pain is actually a powerful catalyst for progress? We tend to view pain as a negative force, something that should be minimized or avoided. After all, who wants to be in pain? But the reality is that pain is a teacher. It's through pain that we grow, evolve, and discover what we're truly made of. It's often in our darkest moments that we uncover our deepest strength. Think about the times in your life when you've gone through something difficult. Chances are those were the moments that shaped you the most. The key to transforming pain into progress is shifting our perspective. Instead of seeing pain as a signal that something is wrong or that we failed, we can choose to view it as an opportunity for growth. Each challenge we face holds within it a lesson, the chance to learn something new about ourselves and the world around us. The pain you feel today may be the very thing that leads you to a stronger, more resilient version of yourself tomorrow. Take, for example, an athlete who endures physical pain in training. The discomfort of pushing their body to its limits is not a sign of failure, it's part of the process of becoming stronger. The same is true in life. When we face emotional or psychological pain, it's easy to retreat, to give up, or to believe that we're being punished. But if we reframe that pain, we begin to see it as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. It's through overcoming pain that we find our true power. Think of the most successful people in the world. They've all experienced pain in some form or another. Whether it's a failed business, a personal loss, or a public humiliation, they've been through their own struggles. But what sets them apart is their ability to turn that pain into fuel. They don't let pain define them, they allow it to refine them. Each setback, each failure is seen not as a roadblock, but as a lesson that propels them forward. This is not to say that pain is easy. It's not. But the difference between those who see it and those who don't often comes down to this one critical factor, how we respond to pain. When life knocks us down, we have a choice. We can let it break us or we can let it build us. We can choose to stay down, consumed by our pain, or we can rise stronger and wiser for having gone through the experience. What if we embraced pain instead of running from it? What if we saw every obstacle as an opportunity for growth? Pain and progress are not opposites, they are partners in the journey of life. You cannot have progress without pain, and you cannot have true growth without facing the discomfort that comes with it. So the next time you face pain, remember this, it is not the end. It is the beginning of a new chapter. It is not a signal of defeat. It is a sign that you are evolving, that you are moving forward, that you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. Embrace the pain, learn from it, and watch as it propels you toward your next level of greatness. Create your hero's journey. Life is often compared to a journey. And like any great story, it has its twists and turns, its challenges, and its triumphs. But what if, instead of being a passive character in this journey, you chose to see yourself as the hero? What if you took control of your story and decided to shape every obstacle into an opportunity for growth? The truth is, we all have the power to create our own hero's journey, to transform our lives into a compelling narrative of courage, resilience, and triumph. In every great story, the hero faces adversity. They encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable, forces that try to break them, and moments of doubt that make them question whether they can go on. But here's the secret: it's not the challenges that define the hero, it's how they respond to those challenges. The hero's journey is not about avoiding hardship, it's about rising to meet it. And the same is true for you. You may have heard the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It's a cliche, but it holds a profound truth. The obstacles you face in life are not roadblocks, they are the training grounds for your transformation. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. The losses, the heartbreaks, the failures, they are all part of your story, shaping you into the person you are meant to become. The challenges you face today will build the character, strength, and wisdom that will propel you toward your ultimate success. But in order to truly live out your hero's journey, you must first embrace your power to choose. The most important part of any hero's journey is the moment when the hero decides to take action. The hero doesn't wait for things to magically get better or for the world to change in their favor. The hero steps into their power, takes responsibility for their journey, and makes the decision to move forward, even when the path is unclear or difficult. This is where you have the power to shape your life. You can choose to wait for circumstances to change, or you can choose to become the person who takes action despite the uncertainty or fear. To create your hero's journey, you must also redefine what it means to fail. In every hero's journey, failure is inevitable. The hero will encounter setbacks, losses, and mistakes. But what defines the hero is their ability to learn from these failures, to grow stronger, and to keep moving forward. The truth is, failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. It's through failure that the hero gains wisdom, strength, and experience. The key is not to be afraid of failure, but to use it as fuel for your next step. Think about the heroes of your own life, those who inspire you, those who have overcome adversity and made a mark on the world. What do they all have in common? They chose to see their lives as a journey. They chose to face their struggles head on, to take responsibility for their growth, and to keep moving forward no matter how hard the road got. They didn't sit back and wait for life to hand them success. They went out and created it, step by step. Now it's your turn. You are the hero of your story, and your journey is waiting to unfold. The challenges you face today are the building blocks of your greatness. Embrace your inner hero. Step into your power and create a life that inspires not just you, but everyone who hears your story. The path ahead is yours to define. It's time to live your hero's journey and make it legendary. Action is the final rewrite. Many people believe that changing their life is about thinking differently, about changing their mindset, or about believing in their potential. While these are crucial steps, they are only the beginning. The real transformation, the real change comes when you take action. You see, thoughts without action are just wishes. Ideas and dreams have the power to inspire, but it's the action that turns them into reality. You can think about changing your story all you want, but unless you take the necessary steps, nothing will change. It's easy to get caught in the cycle of overthinking, of planning, and waiting for the perfect moment to take action. But here's the truth: the perfect moment never comes. Life isn't about waiting for things to align perfectly before making a move. It's about taking action, even when it's messy, uncertain, or imperfect. The greatest successes aren't born from perfect conditions. They're born from people who took imperfect action, made mistakes along the way, and adapted as they went. The key is to start. Action breaks through the inertia that holds us back. How many times have you had a great idea, a dream, or a goal, but then talked yourself out of it because you didn't know how to begin? This is where most people get stuck. They never move past the thought stage because they are paralyzed by fear or uncertainty. But those who succeed are the ones who push through that initial resistance. They act in spite of their fears, doubts, and uncertainties. They don't wait for the fear to go away. They act with the fear. When you take action, you begin to change your reality. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a move toward the life you want to create. It is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. The more you act, the more momentum you create. You don't have to have all the answers at the start. It's the act of moving forward that gives you the clarity you need to adjust your course, to learn, to grow, and to build the confidence that drives further action. Taking action also forces you to commit. It turns your dreams into real, tangible efforts. If you simply think about what you want, it remains a fantasy. But when you take a single step toward your goal, whether that's making a call, sending an email, signing up for a course, or taking on a new project, you've made the decision to bring your vision to life. This commitment is the turning point. It's when you go from wishing for change to actively creating it. And remember, action isn't just about big, dramatic moves, it's also about consistency. The daily steps you take, the small but consistent actions will compound over time to create massive results. Just like a writer who starts with a blank page and writes one word at a time, you are building your future with every decision you make. Every small action adds up to a big transformation. Don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect time. Action creates momentum. It creates progress. It's the final rewrite of your story. You may not have control over what has happened in the past, but you have complete control over what you do next. And what you do next can change everything. So stop waiting. Stop overthinking. It's time to act. The life you've dreamed of is waiting for you to take that first step.